Koga, Sabrina. I remember. So, chat, today I was at work and I was minding my own business, and then the power went out. And so I was like, what? Power's out. Somebody probably hit a pole. And wouldn't you know it, somebody hit a pole. So, when the power goes out in a grocery store, there's a certain procedure that needs to be followed. That's all. So they came down with the ETA on the return, and they said about 2 hours. This is about 12:30. They said about 2 hours, right? So I got all this food. Right? And nothing holding its temperature anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait, see if maybe it comes back. And then I get told 2 hours. Okay. That's not 2 hours isn't enough. So I might as well just get rid of it now. So I pull all my food out and I get rid of it. And no joke, as soon as I get the last thing out of there and wrapped up, bam, lights are back on. Power's back after like 35 minutes. So I had to reopen the whole thing over again. And I was just like, motherfucker. So, yeah. So I just, I did it all, and then I had to take it apart, and then I had to put it all back together. And I was just like, god damn it. So, yeah, I got a little exhausted, I suppose. That's all. So I got home a little late. I guess I was still technically early, but I was a little late. I got home, I ate. It was like 3:40, 3:45, and I was like, I need a fucking nap. And so I just went to bed instead of streaming at 4. And then I got up at like 4:50, and I was like, 5 more minutes. And then I finally got out of bed at like 5 after and gotten to the shower. So that was my day. How was your day, chat? How was your day? Did anybody crash into a pole near your area of business? I'm definitely a little like I'm a little groggy, but my head's better than before I went to bed. And if I wake up a little bit, I'll be better by the time I need to be better. Oh man. Oh, you're weak to surf though. Although you might be faster than me sometimes. I still can't figure out your fucking type, you know that? You a poison type? A ground type? What type are you? Just sitting all day? Well, I was just standing all day. Oh. But now I'm sitting. Now I'm on my designated sitting part of the day. My sleep wasn't great, but it was good enough. It was good enough. I did my workout yesterday. Big ol' strong arm. I upped my try overhead extensions and my pull-ups to 6 instead of 5. Just 1 extra, and it worked out, and I did it. I was like, yeah. So that's really it for me. I don't really live a very exciting life. When I turn the stream off, I don't really go anywhere. You know, like when streamers are like, all right, catch you later, guys, and then they like turn off the stream, they jump out their window and they go explore the universe, and they come back in like 5 hours, and they're like, all right, who's ready for another 8-hour stream? Not me. When I turn my stream off, I'm still in the chair. I'm still in the chair, sitting. Dude, sometimes streamers will be like live for 8 hours, and then they'll stop, and then they'll just be live before I wake up again, which is just baffling to me. That's so much time. That's so much time spent streaming. It's crazy. I guess if it's like, if it's your only source of income, you ain't got much of a choice. Obviously, this is like fucking, this is quite a crybaby conundrum here. Like, oh no, I have to sit and stream video games for elongated periods of time to make ends meet. Oh, how I wish I was behind the register at a fast food joint, you know? I get it. But it is like, I guess it depends on how much you have going on outside of your stream, whether or not that becomes an issue, right? If you don't do a whole lot, then you can stream for a long time. If you do different things and you can't do it during streaming, then you lose time on that front. That's why a lot of streamers that do YouTube content have editors, because they can afford to pay them. They can afford to pay them, and they kind of need to because they don't have the time to do any of their own, like, editing at all. They spend too much of their time streaming the damn thing. They can't be arsed to fucking watch the VOD and highlight it. Every job has its ups and downs. Every job has its ups and downs, but it's streaming is one of those jobs that has the reputation of, like, there's literally zero negative to it. And if you do it for a living and you complain, it's like, how the fuck could you possibly be complaining about your situation? And to an extent, I get it. I get it. It's the kind of job that you think when you're a kid, it's like, wow, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna play video games. But you can do that with esport. You guys like esport? You guys any esporters? Did any of you guys like actually try to really get into esports? I ask because I've never known anybody who really tried to be like esports. I liked some games I played that are like, I say some, but most esport games aren't really for me. But you know, I play some games competitively to a degree, and you know, but I don't play them like, I'm not like top level or anything like that. Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of a problem with streaming. I think that happens for a lot of VTubers, I hear, is that so many of them kind of, when they start, they play a character, and then playing the character just gets absolutely fucking exhausting, because you're doing it for so long that eventually you just kind of turn into yourself anyway. And the character you're playing, just kind of molds with who you are as a person. So you're not really like a character anymore. You're just a human being. That kind of thing. I'm lost. Characters like breaking the ice. Yeah, that's what it seems like. They always debut with this backstory and stuff like that. But after a certain amount of time passes, it's just, you know, it's just them. You know, some memes and whatnot stick around, I'm sure, but it is just, I imagine it just gets really exhausting to put up airs for so long periods at a time, and eventually you're gonna slip up anyway, so you might as well just fucking embrace it and just take it as is, right? I'm not gonna say like every streamer in the world is just like 100% genuine all the time. Some of them definitely can put on a good act for a pretty long period of time, but for the most part, I think most streamers that aren't like omega massive, I suppose, most streamers are just kind of like people, you know? Most of them are just kind of like people. Hoo-ha! Oh, his outfit's kind of green. I don't think I ever noticed that. Inui! I hope I am faster than you, because if you turn into a dark type... Oh, I got Protean? Oh, that's an amazing... Oh, yeah. I should have clicked Aura Sphere. You know what? Where's the reset button? Where the hell is reset? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna click Aura Sphere. I'm gonna click Aura Sphere. No, like I said, some people do also try to like put on a more what's the word? Approachable? I don't know if that's the right word, but some people try to be a little more like active during stream. You can't be bouncing off the walls all the time. You can't be bouncing off the walls all the time, but you know, if you're gonna bring energy to your day, you might as well put it somewhere where it'll like really matter. Me personally, when I'm like done streaming and I'm turning... Why are you using a... What? Are you serious? Why did you click toxic this time? You still died, bitch. You still died. Aiden. Bro, I got Protean. I'm gonna be type swapping. Oh, that's Aiden. That's okay, because I have Protean, so now I'm a ground type. Fuck you. Like, here's an example. I watch Vinny, and Vinny's just kind of like a guy, but he does like stupid voices that I think are funny. So he plays it up. He plays it up to a certain extent, for sure, but for the most part, he really is he's just a guy. Okay, now here's my problem. Yeah, Dark Pulse will work. Because if you mana punch me, you lose. Surely you mana punched me, right? Because you saw I was a poison type, right? You mana punched? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Protean. Guess what Mind's Eye does? Mind's Eye is Nasty Plot. Hyper Potion? Okay. I like watching Barbarous King for some games because when he gets angry, it's funny. When he gets mad at certain games, I think it's mad funny. Because he's not like, oh, I didn't do very much. That's fine. He doesn't get like uncomfortable mad. He just kind of like the way he just yells at the game is hilarious. That like funny mad is good. Funny mad is good. And you know, sometimes funny mad is usually just an exaggeration of frustration, and the streamer isn't actually like that. Ayana, that frustrated. But when the streamer really gets frustrated, usually the words just kind of stop coming. And I've noticed that happens. That happens with more than just me, just so you know. That happens with more than just me. Like, you'll notice a lot of silence and long, deep sighs. Less commentary overall, less hee-hee-ha-ha moments. Just straight up, please get it over with. Alright, well, I'm beating the shit out of Koga right now. Okay, you did great, Nue. You did great. But funny mad is great. I dig funny mad. When they, you know, they're just silly about it. That makes me laugh. When the game is like really not good, and they're just hamming it up, that's funny to me. But when they're really not enjoying it, it's like, oh. And I just kind of feel bad. At that point, I just kind of feel bad. Like, damn, bro. Hina's kind of thick. Oh, Koishi. She's almost done. There's like 2 puppets left. Check out the big one as well. It's going really well. I'm gonna go for Tri-Attack for a status condition. Surf. That's a weird choice. Barely did anything. Okay. No, like, my main example was I was just watching him play Ninja Gaiden, the first one. He just, oh man, that game looked like a disaster. But just, I got a good laugh out of his reactions to the shit that game did to him. I really did. All right, he's gonna use his last potion here, which is fine. He's back to full health, which is annoying, but parried. The reboot, not the NES one. The reboot one for like Xbox that was very like Devil May Cry styled. That game was very DMC styled. Very. Alright, well this fight looks like it's mine. Looks like I win. Patchy and Nui pretty much just hyper offense their way through the entire team. Noriyoko. And now it's just up to the cleanup to break one puppet, one Pokemon. Oh wait, Ghost is effective against you. Okay. Thank you for the raid, Christian. Why is it Destiny bonding? It's the last puppet. Is he stupid? All that does is make me lose EXP for killing it. Oh, I didn't even die. The way of a ninja is to never let up, no matter the opponent. Okay. Why is he... This guy is clicking Destiny Bomb with his last puppet. Just so I don't get EXP for killing him. That is unbelievably petty behavior. You've proven your worth. I can't believe this, dude. You have the soul badge. TM6. It contains toxic. It's a secret technique. First, you cover yourself in oil. Alright, so now would be Sabrina, but actually with access to Soif, I can head to the water routes and get some more EXP. He hates you. Well, he wouldn't be the first. He wouldn't be the first, would he? He won't be the last either. Alright. This is just a regenerance. Regenerance is not a word. How ninjas would kill themselves to not give up information. What are you talking about? Stupid. It's because it's a ghost type and I'm a normal type, so it doesn't have any moves to hit me with, so it just panicked and clicked Destiny Bond. Stupid. Idiot. Baka. Lore accurate. Did you know when Ash fought Koga in his gym, his Pokemon evolved mid-battle? That's illegal. That is illegal. For some reason, when Pokemon evolve mid-battle, they get all of their energy back. That said, I've never really understood how Pokemon stamina worked in the anime, because sometimes Pikachu can just get thrown around everywhere and be okay. And, well, not even Pikachu. You know what? Not even Pikachu. Like, you ever notice how sometimes Pokemon just, they be throwing hands? They just be throwing hands for days, and then immediately a new Pokemon comes out, uses one attack, and the Pokemon who is just, like, fucking, like, raw dog in the whole battle just immediately falls over and dies to a slight breeze, right? It's like, oh man, good fight, and then they get hit by Mean Look, and they're like, oh, I can't, and then they die. And, like, I get it, it just moves the fight along, but it's just so anticlimactic. I like double KOs, because double KOs are usually very flashy. Damn, I got 3 moves to kill you with. There are some things in the anime that don't actually exist Or sorry, there's some things in the games that don't exist in the anime. Skill swap? That's... I mean, I don't need Dark Pulse. But when am I gonna click... When am I gonna click skill swap? I don't know. If I need it, I can get it later. No. Like PowerPoints is actually one. Like, I don't think there's any instance in the Pokemon anime of PowerPoints. There's no PP in the anime. Pokemon can just use moves. There are 4 moves. Pokemon can only use 4 moves at a time. I actually don't know if that is ever mentioned in the anime, or if that's just like an accepted thing. The only thing I can remember is that episode with the Pelipper, where the Pelipper could use more than 4 moves, and they were like, whoa, how the fuck? But I don't think they ever really acknowledged the rule that Pokemon can only have 4 moves at a time. How the Ash of Snorlax use 6 in one battle? What episode was that? What episode was that? And were they moves, or were they just Snorlax doing something? I don't remember this episode. I've watched all of Pokemon in my time, if you can believe it. All of it. Every episode. This was years ago, so I don't remember them all. I don't remember. I just know it happened. Are you sure it wasn't a translation thing? Are you sure it wasn't a translation thing where they just translated it weirdly? Because remember, early Pokemon was for kids. Early Pokemon was for kids. That actually reminded me. I was watching a video about Sonic X censorship in the West. You know, things like innuendos and alcohol references. And there was one episode, normally all the fucking alcohol is replaced with juice, but there was one episode where a bunch of reporters are waiting for Sonic and they're getting angry, and so the dude offers them some more drink. But in the English, in the translation, the West, the guy offers them salami. So they edited the wine bottle out and turned it into a stick of salami. So I guess they just that was like, that's very confusing. It's very confusing. He's supposed to pour them wine to hold them over, but instead he just has a stick of salami and he's like, "How about some salami, boys?" And that was a localization. That was a censorship translation. Shock absorb? Oh. Wait, there's a move like that in Pokemon. It's Parabolic Charge. The only Pokemon I can think of that learns that move is Helioptile. Chat, I have an important question. Do you know what Helioptile is? Do you know what that Pokemon is? And if so, do you like that Pokemon? I used it in my playthrough of XY, and I hated the little bastard. I really, really did not like him. He was stupid. Why is he part normal? Why are you faster than me? What the fuck? That did no damage. That leads me to believe that Waterfall is Aqua Jet. Or something. Because how did you go first and only do like 15? Kasumi. Luna. It's a cool concept in solar energy. It's a frill-neck lizard and it looks stupid. Did you know that it can run over water? You can make it do that in the new Pokemon Snap. Helioptile is nice. Okay, Helioptile is the Prevo. Heliolisk is the evolution. He endured the hit. Alrighty. Yeah, that's a Lentalk request in the new Snap game. You scare him with a Magikarp and he runs on the surface of the water, and you take a picture and you get that gritty point. They run really strange. Frill-necked lizards run very strangely. And then you have Salazzle. Who made Salazzle? Oh, that just reminded me. Chad, did you know that Pokemon is making a life-size Gardevoir plush? Did you know that? They're making a life-size Gardevoir plush. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I saw it next to the model. It was almost as tall as her. You know what that means? We're life-size Churno. Well, there's the Fumo ones. There is that guy, I don't remember his name. I remember seeing some of his work, but he made like life-size dolls of Touhou characters. And he got really upset because people kept calling his work sex dolls. He's like, they are not sex dolls. Fuck off. But every time he'd post his work, people would be like, wow, nice sex doll. It's like, damn, man. Bro can't even make life-size dolls. Fucking Twitter, man. Poor guy. Well, Twitter is basically a gooner pit, anyway. I relearned that. I relearned that yesterday. It's just a gooner pit, man. It's really bad. The dolls looked like really good, but they also kind of scared me because dolls creep me out when they look good, because they still look like dolls. I don't really like them, but they are really high quality. He made some really high quality stuff from what I saw. I felt bad for the guy though, cause like it's just like his passion he's doing, and every time he posts them, he gets some English speaker who asks him if it's a sex. It's always the fucking English speakers, man. It's always the English speakers. Wagasaki and Suwako. No, Leaf Blade will kill you, because you're ×4 weak to that. Needle. I don't remember the guy's name at all, but he did actually have some, like I said, they were pretty high quality. Man clearly loved what he did. It was very good. Sometimes it's better to live in ignorance. Oh yeah, well no, you're right. I was just my first thought was like, why does the Japanese man need to translate to understand English? That was a very American moment right there. Someone posting and they are equipped on Reddit. Bro, I can't believe you went looking. I don't think it's the same guy, but I don't know. I don't really dabble in that side of things. I can tell you one thing though. This was back in this was years ago. This was back in the pony days. But there was this one plush that somebody made, and this one plush caused such a storm. Someone just made a really high quality plush of one of the characters, and there was a hole in the back of it. And that's all it was. It was just a high quality plush with a hole in the back. And yeah, that was what the fuck? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. There's just they put a hole in the back. I'm getting a lot of free EXP here. 2010's Pony Days or something. Yeah? Do you think anything will have quite as a cultural impact as Friendship is Magic did? Like, actually? You hear Multiversus is Jover? Wait, really? Wait, you mean the Warner Brothers platform fighter, right? You mean that one? Hold on, give me information. It's going on offline in 5 months. Wow. So, hold on. When it goes offline, it means nobody can play it ever again, right? Didn't people invest money into that? Because I remember when it came out, like, a year or two ago, people invested money in it, then they pulled the whole fucking thing. And then they didn't say anything, and then they brought it back, and it was worse. They will have an offline version with all the characters. But you can't play with people online. You won't be able to buy it anymore, though. Well, have you seen the state of that game? Like, but like legitimately? Have you seen the state of that game? I remember seeing a quote-unquote glitch of motherfucker who exited the game, and the game like immediately went to the premium store and bought a Shaggy costume for him, and he just couldn't do anything except watch as his Shaggy costume was purchased. And I was just like, what? What? How? There's a video. There is literally a video of it. You could probably search it up and find it. But dude just like hit the back button, and immediately the game just shot him into the fucking currency store and bought a Shaggy outfit. I can't explain it. But yeah, I watched an extensive video on... There was an extensive video that I watched on the game and all of its shortcomings and issues. And it really did have a lot of problems. And a general consensus for people that did actively play it and enjoy it prior to it getting pulled and brought back was that the game, when it came back, was weirdly slowed down for no reason. Not to mention characters like the Iron Giant were, like, hilariously broken. Aeroblast. This causes flinching, yeah. 195 versus 8100. Oh, Mind's Eye is a fucking swords dance. Oh my god, Mind's Eye is swords dance, not nasty plot. That's... I didn't even realize that. Well, fuck, I don't want that then. Why the fuck would I want that? Change my type into a psychic type? What could that do me? Oh yeah, I watched, like I said, I watched a pretty extensive video on it and just seeing the changes. Coney was someone that I knew who was really looking forward to the game. And then he played it, he got his hands on it, and he was like, he was just kind of like, wow, this is, like, he did not go back to it. And then some people, they kind of had to stick with it. But you could tell that, you could really tell that a lot of people that were there were kind of holding out hope that maybe things would change. But they made a lot of mistakes. They made Banana God a fucking character. Yes, they did, and he had like 2 moves. And his side special and his up special, I think it was, were just those were the buttons you pressed, and that was it. And he would just do that. Iron Giant was like legitimately broken. He might be the most broken character in a fighting game ever. Like ever. Legitimately. He got patched out so quickly, and then they brought him back, I think, but he was still broken. So when did they announce that it was getting pulled? Like today? Have they said anything else, or did they just drop glorp and then they're gonna fuck off? Because it really feels like they were trying. They were really trying with that game, and then when they pulled it, reworked it, and brought it back, it was worse to play and also full of had a lot more things you could spend real money on. Now that I think about it, Multiversus has been around for a while, huh? Hold on, xcancel.com. Season 5 will serve as the final update for Multiversus, beginning 2/4/25, ending 5/30. After Season 5 ends, players will be able to enjoy the game offline for the foreseeable future. Okay. I can't believe you fumbled this game before getting to any popular post-release characters. The entire Warner Brothers roster to troll through, and this is the fumble we got? Rip Gandalf in a platform fighter. This has got to be one of the biggest fumbles I've ever seen. If only the day if I cared about the game instead of just filling it with fucking microtransactions. Damn. That is true. How do you fumble something like that? Imagine you're given you're told you can make a platform fighter and you can take any character that is owned by Warner Brothers, and you fumbled it that hard. You had Bugs Bunny in the game. In his platform fighter, he was fighting Shaquille O'Neal. Wait, no he wasn't. He was fighting LeBron James. Who the fuck cares about LeBron James? They put in Banana Guard, man. Banana Guard! I want to play as Banana Guard! Whoa! Calm down. It's just a drawing. I'm gonna open up a can of Shaq Fu. Okay. Well, that's a shame. I mean, there were people who legitimately enjoyed the game, despite its flaws. But it's no mistake to say that the game had a lot more flaws than it had before it was released. Banana Guard wasn't relevant before, and he's not going to be relevant in the future. Bro, I don't even know who the fuck Banana Guard is. The only reason I know Banana Guard is from Adventure Time is because of the way he is designed. That is the only reason I can tell he is from Adventure Time. Otherwise, who the fuck is Banana Guard? He looks like a pencil. Bro looks like a fucking pencil. He's an NPC. No, they had their own NPC character. That dog thing. They really liked that dog thing they made. They really did. That dog thing was kind of plastered in Multiversus. That's an original Multiversus character. They love him. Jake? No, that's Adventure Time. I'm talking about the green dog. The green dog that's in Multiversus is an original character. Rain Dog, yeah, that one. That's an original character to Multiversus. I'm pretty sure he's not even a free-to-play character, which is really weird because that is exactly the kind of character you make available from the start of the game, because that's like, who's buying that character, right? I'm buying Bugs Bunny and the Joker, baby. Why I'm not gonna buy your fucking OC pet. I'm the Joker, baby. Oh, I remembered too. There are challenges in the game that you can do to work towards some premium stuff. However, you're not allowed to take on certain challenges if they have cosmetics or costumes that you haven't purchased yet. I have no idea if that ever changed. But yeah, you legitimately could not do single player stuff if you did not own the DLC cosmetic that the challenge was using. So you had to pay for that to do the single player challenge, which you earned things in those single player challenges to get stuff that you would otherwise pay for free. Yeah, I saw Dino Crisis 1 and 2 were on GOG. That doesn't really do anything for me because I'm not really a Dino Crisis guy. But it is good to see that that game has like official PC port now, because that kind of thing is very handy when you need to make a more general rule set for things like emulation. Speedrunning with emulation is usually a pain in the ass because there are different settings, different emulators, and blah blah booey. But when you have an all-encompassing port, it's a lot easier to streamline a rule list. That's why so many games have different leaderboards for hardware and emulation, because there are a lot of differences that can affect a majority of things. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like that. And usually the argument is that when you split the leaderboard a bunch, it kind of makes everything kind of worse. And I agree to that to a certain extent. But I think sometimes it's necessary, depending on how extreme of an example it is. Like, take Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, for example. Those games have the most, like, game-breaking glitches I've ever seen in a video game with SRM and ACE. You can do a lot of crazy shit with those. And obviously, if you use those in a speedrun, you can kind of blow the whole game open. So they made categories where you can use those, and they made categories. They made it so there are categories specifically where they're allowed, and they kept like the normal 100% without it. But then there's also 100% and stuff with no major glitches, because that game is pretty glitchy. Those games are pretty glitchy. Super Mario World also uses Ace Bug for the credits work. Yeah, but that's like a different category as well, because but the thing about that is that Super Mario World's most popular category is 96 exit anyway. Where like Zelda was any percent, right? People liked doing any percent for Zelda, but when any percent became just get to the point where you ACE or you SRM to the credits, it's like, oh, that's not fun anymore. But with Super Mario World, obviously they did make they do have any percent, which is just get, beat Bowser. They do have a category specifically for ACE because it's boring. It's boring, and nobody wants their category to be just that, so they'd rather it be like that. But like I said, in Super Mario World's case, 96 exit is the most popular one, so it's not too detrimental. There are smaller like subcategories, like there's 96 exit no cape. That's pretty cool. But usually there's one definitive category. And I think for Ocarina of Time, the most popular category was probably any percent no SRM. But yeah, 100% is still there. But they have a category for SRM, ACE, glitch, no major glitch. They have a lot of categories with OOT, is what I'm trying to say. And when you have to keep splitting categories, it's like, oh, like imagine if Pokemon Yellow any percent was just the bag glitch to turn your home entrance to the Hall of Fame entrance, right? That kind of thing. If that was the standard for any percent, that would be a dead game on arrival. So that's why you take something like that and you put it in its own little meme category. Yeah, SRM and ACE tend to ruin any percent because the purpose of any percent is to beat the game as fast as possible, regardless of like getting, just get to the end of the game as fast as possible. And obviously a glitch like SRM will help you do that, but depending on how effective it is at doing that, kind of determines whether or not people want that to be the main category, right? Major glitches in N64 Zelda is just SRM and ACE because they're just that broken. Really? I thought they specifically had categories that listed, that straight up said that they do not use that. Because there are a lot of like major glitches and glitches in general. But I guess, yeah, when you're talking about the hierarchy of glitches in those games, those two are very, very major. They kind of make everything else pretty modest. And to be fair, a lot of the glitches in those games are very innovative and very interesting. Like bomb hovering, weird shot is really cool. I think that's one of my favorite. Is you can pretty much clip into the floor with hook shot, and then you can hook shot out of the floor onto like anywhere that you have a hook shotable surface. Weird shots are cool. Hovers are cool. It's all pretty cool. There's also glitches, but that one is boring. Now, I partially agree, but I think it depends on the game. Because you kind of have to define what is and isn't a glitch. And this is something that causes a lot of headache. I remember years ago, I was watching a speedrunner do a Wind Waker glitchless speedrun. So he was doing a speedrun of the game without using glitches, and he did the bomb skip to skip the Hermelot King fight. So he bombed out of bounds and walked around the border that prevented him from walking up to Ganon. Didn't do the fight and just got to Ganon. And he spent the next like 20 minutes telling his chat that didn't count as a glitch. And I was just like, bro, if you gotta defend it this fucking hard, like, you gotta defend it this hard? I don't know, man. Ain't my battle, that's for sure. But like, this was the topic in the chat for the next 20 minutes. Like, bro, you literally just skipped a fight. Like that, you went over the, like, how is that not counting as a glitch? Is backwards long jump a glitch? This is the thing, right? What do you define as a glitch? Backwards long jump is an exploit because Mario's speed is not, it's not locked when going backwards, and you can exploit that on certain surfaces to maintain the speed. I don't really think it's a glitch per se. It's just abusing something that normally would never really result in anything because they found a way to take advantage of it, right? But like you have to find what defines a glitch. And that's why glitchless categories are usually so annoying, because every little thing has to be established as whether or not is a glitch or not, and it has to be established ahead of time. That reminded me of oh, you're not a trainer. Okay. People kind of throw the word glitch around. Yeah, but it's a pretty all-encompassing word that gets to the point, because semantics on arguing a bug, a glitch, and an exploit and all that is just annoying. So usually glitch is just used as a catch-all term to imply that it's something that's not intended by the developers, kind of deal, right? But okay, no, I was gonna say, I remember watching I was watching a speedrunner a couple of years ago, and they were doing melee adventure mode speedruns, beating adventure mode as fast as possible. And they had a mod installed that basically made it so the only thing it did was it made it so when you did the Hyrule Temple bit, you always had the same layout, so you always knew where the exit was. So you could just run straight to the exit. Anyway, the guy got world record with that. And then he didn't get to be top of the leaderboard because they decided that after he had gotten the world record time with the mod, that the mod was not allowed. And the guy who had the world record without it was like, no. But they were fine with it up until they got a world record with it. Then they weren't fine with it. And I know Pikmin 2 actually, I don't know if this has changed, but Pikmin 2 has apparently had this issue for a while about the early blues glitch. So there's a glitch in Pikmin 2, right, where you can use a cutscene to clip into a wall, and you can get to the area where the blue Pikmin are in the Awakening Wood early. However, there's like there's like a 1 in 4 chance, I think it is, that when you do that, the game just soft locks, and then you have to restart your entire run. So, someone developed a patch that makes it so the game will never soft lock you when you do that glitch. You still have to execute the glitch as if it's normal, but you never have to worry about getting unlucky and just soft locking your game. And apparently, the leaderboards for Pikmin 2 do not like that. They do not like that there is a fix for that, and they refuse to accept any times that are played with that patch to make it so you will guarantee not soft lock and waste your fucking time. That is some real boomer level behavior, that's for sure. Literally the only thing the patch does, it makes it so you don't have to gamble your run like 15 minutes into something completely out of your control. That is stupid, TBH. Stupid doesn't even begin to describe it, brother. I don't know if that's ever been changed at all. I hope it has, for the sake of the Pikmin 2 runners who just want to play the game. But at the same time, they don't have to adhere to they don't have to post on it. Remember, Twin Galaxies was like the de facto speedrun website before I was even alive, and Twin Galaxies didn't allow like anything in terms of glitches at all. Like their rules on you beating the game were very like strict. And eventually Speed Demos Archive came out, and they were like, yeah bro, use all the glitches you want, bro, go ahead, it's your game, man. But I think what it is it's probably a matter of people. Usually it's the people who have charge of the leaderboard are usually people who are on the leaderboard to some capacity, right? So I assume the reason why something like this would happen is mainly just because some guy who is high on the leaderboard who got a good time without the patch doesn't want somebody using it and beating their time, because that wouldn't be fair. Isn't no one allowed community patches and such? But this is the thing, right? This is the thing, because the only thing this patch does is it makes it so you cannot the game will not soft lock you for going for early blues. And you have to go for early blues if you want a competitive time. You have to. And the only thing this patch does, it makes it so you don't just lose a run for something completely out of your control. And that's all it does. But like I do feel like the argument against it is kind of in bad faith. Sure, you could say that you let one through and then slippery slope and blah blah. Sploosh Kaboom game tool ever get backlash? Yes, it definitely did, but it was still allowed. It was indeed still allowed. A lot of speedruns come down to dumb gambling that's out of your control. Yeah, yes, you're not wrong. There is RNG in runs. I get that, but I also understand the desire to not play for a certain amount of time and then just lose because something happened. I get it. And it's not like it changes anything other than just lets you do more runs. Like, think about a lot of early, like very, stupid RNG. Now, an argument you could use against this is the fact that they're obviously doing something they're not supposed to. They're clipping through the wall, falling inbounds, and then getting to the blue Pikmin. Obviously, that's not supposed to be happening. And I will say, when people get angry that their glitch doesn't work, I mean, bro, it was never intended to work. I get that argument. But I completely understand the frustration of the people who just, they want to do competitive times, but they're just not allowed to, but they're sick of losing runs to things completely out of their control, and they don't have all the time in the world to dedicate to just keep rebooting their runs, right? Like, imagine if Mario 64 developed some kind of tool that made it so LBLJ was consistent. Imagine what that would do to the speedrun community. Some guy is just like, hey, check this out, and then suddenly LBLJ is now free, and every single run pretty much starts with an LBLJ. So, and you have to watch the minute intro, and then you have the LBLJ, and if you miss it, you get to restart. And every SM64 runner does that all the time. All the time. Or even just intro skip. Imagine if there was intro skip. Because I know that, what's it called? Sunshine has actually reached a point where they're kind of sick. They're kind of sick of the cutscenes, so they actually start the game from after the cutscenes, but they start their timer on the time it takes for the cutscenes to play out. So pretty much all Sunshine runs start like 5.5 minutes in, just so runners don't have to sit there and watch 5 minutes of cutscenes to even begin their run. So every OT is allowing intro skip now too. Do they start on a timer? Like, stuff like this always is controversial because usually I think it comes down to people just, they did it for so long, and then when a convenient option appears for other people, they don't like that because, you know, they didn't have that, so everybody else should suffer the same inconvenience. I honestly believe that's a big part of it, is people are hesitant to changes like that because they had to do it the hard way, so you should have to do it the hard way. It depends on, again, it depends on who you ask, right? It depends on who you ask. Some people are adamant that things need to be as vanilla as possible. Some people are adamant that outside external tools are cheating. I mean, look at Worcester. Go ask Worcester on his speedrun opinions. he'll give you some fucking opinions, all right. That's for sure. But like I said, this is a topic that everybody has their own opinion on, and there's not much you can really say or do to dissuade people. It's not my hobby. It's not my battle. But there are some games that have different rulings to them that you do wonder sometimes, like if this is a thing that they could do without, or they don't do without because it's not that bad, or because the community leaders, the fuck, there's a triangle. The community leaders won't allow it on the leaderboard. But again, you don't have to. You can run a game however you want. There's nothing saying you can't play by your own rules, but the trouble with that is that you still can't like post it on the big board of leaderboard, right? You can't post it there. Gra. Touhoumon? What? Okay. What? Right, I'm not a flying type. I keep thinking I'm a flying type. Faith normal. I'll try to paralyze her. Aura Spear, that's fine. That's neutral. What the fuck type am I? I think I don't know. I have Thunder Wave, but this still weakens her. One more. Wait, she's a ground type, so Thunder Wave won't actually paralyze her. I get one more shot at her. Really, I think it just kind of reaches a boiling point where long-standing games get more obnoxious, or like the community does start to thin out because the barrier of entry is archaic and not as fun. I often wonder, oh, I don't have any Pokeballs. I actually wonder sometimes how Wind Waker goes, because the entry point into Wind Waker speedruns is manual super swimming, which does not look fun. And also, if you want a world record in any percent in Wind Waker, you need to be able to do zombie hovers, super swims, and puppet Ganon skip. That whole run looks like a fucking atrocity. Like, I can't imagine anybody actually gives a shit about being competitive in that category unless you've been playing that category for years already and you already like have ingrained every individual trick in your mind. Puppet Ganon skip is a fucking nightmare. That's a fucking nightmare. Yeah, a lot of old school runners are getting older, right? Some retired and some are still playing, but the new generation is coming up. And like, do they have to play by the same archaic bullshit? The fan she carries is dangerous. Ooh. Alright. ZFG will never retire. He's my goat. That's my goatee. Zelda forever. That's what his name stands for. Zelda forever, guys. That's ZFG right there. That's my guy. Oh man. Siglemic. Dude, it is insane to think about how fucking huge Siglemic was as a streamer back when like when Mario 64 was fresh, right? Like Siglemic was actually massive. This is like, I'm talking like Justin TV. Like Siglemic was, I'm pretty sure Siglemic was pushing five digits of viewership in his prime of playing Mario 64, and he just retired. Simply put. All right, you can have flash fire for some reason. Okay. Yeah, he retired, but he had huge viewership. He was the biggest speedrunner in terms of popularity. He was. I think the second biggest one was probably Cosmo. He was very, very well known. His attitude towards speedrunning was not very well regarded, though. From what I understood, people took issue because he kind of just picked up games to play them and then beat them. He didn't actually care about the games, but he was kind of like Andrew G was really, really big for Mario Bros, and then Cosmo was really big for OOT, and OOT was really coming up as a big speed game because of the whole wrong warp shenanigans. You know, it was a huge game. OOT is not as popular anymore as other games, for sure. It's still fairly popular, obviously, you know, but it's mostly carried by I think its popularity is mostly carried by ZFG in terms of viewership, but he's not the only person who actually plays. There are other ones, you know. There's Glitchy, he does 100%. There's Axel Larson, there's Runner Guy. There are tons of runners of these games, but most of the time we only actually know the one guy who plays it because he's got the biggest viewership, right? It's kind of nice when the biggest guy for a game is like also extremely knowledgeable about it. That's what I like about ZFG, is that ZFG, he's definitely known as Mr. OOT, right? Like he is the face of OOT on this site for sure. But he's also extremely knowledgeable about the game's in and outs. Like he's super knowledgeable about the game. So it's cool. Yeah, ZFG knows his stuff, which is really cool. Oh, I don't know where I am right now. But sometimes there are people who become... There are some people who become really well known for a game, and they're not the best for it, if that makes sense. The only example I could think of... This was years ago, by the way. Trihex. This was years ago. He was a very prominent streamer. And he played a lot of Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island was like his main speed game, and he was really good at it, for sure. He was really good at Yoshi's Island, but he was not the world record holder at Yoshi's Island. But he was the most prolific Yoshi's Island speedrunner, right? So he got all the attention, but he wasn't the game's best player. And some people kind of got sour about that. But that's just human nature, so it is what it is. He was still really good at the game, obviously, but you know, if you're not like the best, that it feels kind of, I don't really know how to say it. I think I'm making enough sense here. Like, chat, have you ever Googled a speedrun before? Have you ever Googled a speedrun on YouTube and saw, like, the top results were a former world record with a ton of views, and then you see the current world record and the viewership is just, like, not there. It's just not there at all. Like, oh, the record has been lowered by several minutes, and there's just, you know, it's like a... It's still got some views, but it doesn't have nearly as many views as the popular, well-known guy who did a run and got a world record earlier in the game's life. That kind of thing. So, let me ask you something, chat. In that situation, which run are you watching? Honestly. I'm not trying to start a fight or anything like that, but in that situation, which run are you watching? Because for me, I will check the world record one out first, because I want to see the world record. But, and yes, exactly what Grazy said. If I'm watching the world record one and the guy who's doing it is just not engaging or interesting, I'd rather he just not talk at that point, but he's just talking every now and again. I don't really want to watch anymore. I just don't really want to watch anymore. That's pretty shallow, I know. It's a little shallow, but there's like a limit to it. I'll watch one that says no commentary though. If it says no commentary, then yeah, we're good. But some of them have little bit of commentary. Oh, I can't fly to Pallet Town. Why can I not fly to Pallet Town? That's weird. I can deal with no entertainment if the run is like 30 minutes. Well, no, it's not necessarily the entertainment factor. It's just like the commentary itself is kind of not great. As long as I talk about the game, it should be fine. Yes. Yes, that's the big one. That's the big one. That's why when they just upload the VOD of them doing it, I've been having a rather bad headache. Okay. No, it's like if they just upload the VOD of them on the run, then sometimes it's usually just them talking with their chat or something, and it kind of depends on the quality of the chat whether or not I wanna watch. You know. Did I heal? Well, I don't watch the Olympics either. But I also don't watch sports, but I think sports as a concept is great. I like sports anime, some of them anyway. But I'm not a sport kind of guy. It's mainly just if it's a game that I like, I want to see it played at a very high level, you know? That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, it's like, oh, I like this game, and here's how they beat it really fast. And, like, as someone who's played the game, likes the game, knows the game, seeing, how they route things for 100%. 100% is always my favorite categories to watch. How they route things to get everything. How they, like, do certain things, like, effortlessly, things I struggle with. And kind of how they just navigate in general. I'm also a little, I'm not really a fan of glitches. It depends on the game. But I feel that if the glitches are very hard to follow, like visually, or the glitches like make the game play, if the game like plays itself or something, that kind of sucks. Like, OOT 100% I think is great because they have specific rules for source requirements. So you have to get the item from its source. And they fucking teleport all over the place. They sequence break all over the place. But they still have to go to the spot where the item is, which I think is cool. But I've also watched Symphony of the Night. And Symphony of the Night confuses the shit out of me because they do this crazy ass fucking boost, get stuck in the wall, and then Alucard goes, what? And then he's just somewhere else on the map entirely. And I have no idea what's going on at all. And it just, like, I lose interest because my brain is too small to follow what's happening. Like, I want to see them play the game, you know? I want to see them play the game. And when they play the game at 100% and they have to get everything in the game while playing the game, it's usually more a showcase of skill. Mario 64 is a great game for that reason. Mario 64 120 star speedrun is fantastic because yes, there are some glitches to make some stars easier to and faster to get, but you're still essentially executing really good movement for like over 100 stars in the span of an hour, or like an hour and 40 minutes, and even lower now with the level that the runners have gotten. It's a very intensive low break run, and every star is pretty tough and well, it has good optimization to it. Yeah, 120 stars is a fucking great category. It's a great category. But they do have some stars where they do some crazy stuff. But think about this. Think about how they do the reds without the poles, right? That's not intended, but that's really cool. They also do the reds in Hazy Maze Cave. They do reds in Hazy Maze without the elevator at all. They do all this crazy shit. They do all this crazy shit. And they make it harder for themselves because it's faster. And that counts as unintended, right? And they have some, you know, there's also carpetless now, which is a crazy glitch. That's high execution. But I think one of my favorite levels to watch is probably Tick-Tock Clock, because Tick-Tock Clock does not stop. Holy shit, dude. Tick-Tock Clock just star, 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 star. Like, there's no break. They have to do so much, like, good vertical movement. It's crazy. They just go, 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 go. And the cool thing about Tick-Tock Clock is that it's pretty much at the end of the run, but also in 70 star, they have to pretty much clean sweep Tick-Tock Clock for their last couple stars. So Tick-Tock Clock is always like a, oh, whoop, you have Liquid Ooze. You know what? That was a smart decision by me, because now she can't hit me. Those are some good ass speedruns. Those are some good speedruns. I mostly just like watching speedruns of games that I played as a kid that took me forever to like 100%, and then watching them 100% it in such a short amount of time. Every time Tall Mount appears in a run. Breezeless. Dude, Rainbow Ride is now terrifying. Because motherfuckers put carpetless as like the second last star in the entire run for them. And if they fuck it up, it's still faster to try again than to ride the carpet. Yeah, carpetless went from we're not allowing you to try this because if you actually pulled it off in a run, you would kill the category, to here's a consistent enough setup that it's perfectly okay. There's also Toxic Maze BLJ, which is a very strange BLJ. And to be honest, I don't know how many runners do it. Then again, the only runner I really watch regularly is like Liam and sometimes Simply. And I don't think Simply does Toxic Maze BLJ. I know Liam does though. But there's a lot of like other runners, like obviously there's Suiji, who's got like world record in every category. There's Ouija, Karen, Parsi. There's a number of contenders for 120 world record. Yeah, it's the games I like watching the speedrun are the games I just games I just like to play. Basement, yeah. They say the best way I heard it explained is for Mario 64 is that basement is like the hardest. Basement is considered the hardest part of the run, but if you get to upstairs on pace, you're more likely to make a mistake due to nerves. which makes upstairs more difficult as a result. But like difficulty-wise, basement is just awful. But basement is like midway in the run, right? But obviously, if you're in fucking Rainbow Ride on world record pace, you're gonna feel the nerves, you're gonna feel the pressure, and that's gonna fuck you up already. Oh, Docs is awful. DDD 100 is one of the worst stars in the game. Because they do DDD 100 with poleless reds, and they have front sub, triple fin jump on the sub. They got a lot of shit they gotta do in DDD. Granted, after that, every star in DDD just kind of, you know, bang, bang, bang. But the hundo in DDD is one of the most obnoxious stars for sure, because fucking up in that star loses so much time due to just being plopped in the water and then not being able to move like at all. Well, the problem with DDD 100 is that there's only like 104 coins in the actual level. They didn't really put enough coins in the level. So if you miss 5 coins, you cannot get the 100. Which is just foolish. That's so foolish, man. A single blue coin missed, which thankfully is basically impossible. Unless you royally mess up. You cannot get the hundo. It's really unfortunate. It's 106. Some of them are not obvious spots. No, I'm pretty sure it's 104. You'd have to double check. JRB is 106. Wow, really? JRB is that? Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like if you wanted to make like a hard mode type of deal, you would probably make exactly 100 coins for your level. No, DDD is 104. I didn't know that JRB is 106. I mean, you could Google it, right? You could probably just quick search it. This stuff is probably very well documented. It's Super Mario 64 after all. That game is extremely well documented. Well, water levels in general are just slow, right? Water levels in general are just pretty slow paced. They're relaxing for a casual player to a certain extent, but for a speedrunner, you're forced to move at the game's pace, and it's like, I want to go fast. Like, Aquarium is a boring star. You just swim in a circle twice, and if you miss a red, you feel really stupid because you have to turn Mario all the fuck way around, and you just can't turn on a dime underwater. I need more water. I'm yapping. I'm yapping and my throat is dry. I'm awake now, though. My arms are actually kind of sore from my my workout. I wonder if I should do it tonight or probably just let it relax. K's, yeah. Yeah, Kaze is his ability to mod that game is fucking next level. You got Pan and Koic and his massive expositions on how the game works. Are you flying? No. Dude, I think the last task I watched of Mario 64 I think was 16 star, and they did a BLJ into like the fucking aquarium for JRB for something. I can't even remember why they did it, but they did it. It was faster, but it was like an inhuman BLJ. In a category that, you know, in a game where categories exist where you have to do a fucking BLJ on the staircase to get into DDD without stars. Yeah, Mario 64 is such a, like, that and OOT, they're just such extremely well documented games. I heard that DK64 is currently in decomp, which is cool. Progress is not moving very fast, but the decomps are what allowed for things like, I'm pretty sure the decomp is why we have Mario Co-op, and also Ship of Harkinian for OOT and Majora's Mask. Like, they have the Ship of Harkinian now with all those different quality of life aspects to them. And that's all because of the decomp project. And Star Fox got a decomp finished decomp at the New Year's earlier as well. But yeah, DK64 is in development for that, which is really cool because you know that the randomizer nerds are gonna find have a great time with that. Hope it never gets ACE. Apparently they found fucking ACE in Mario Sunshine. They're shipped for Star Fox 64 too. Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. They finished it and released it like on the New Year, like January 1st, December 31st. That was the most recent one they did. All the decom stuff is with ship, I believe. I don't really know what Harkinian means, like at all. I have no idea what it means, but I've heard the term a lot, mainly for Zelda. Because I'm pretty sure Ocarina of Time is like the biggest decom supported by it. Might have been the earliest, but I don't know for sure on that. SM64 is immune to ACE because the game crashes if it tries to access bad data. Good. Unironically, good. I'm with the boomers on this one. Arbitrary code execution and stale reference manipulation have no place in my speedruns. I'm with the boomers on that one, man. Every time a game gets this fucking ACE SRM bullshit, it just the game gets boring. It's boring. Zelda CDI, the king's name is Harkinian. Oh, really? So the ship is named after the king. Alright. No, remember, Pokemon Yellow. Pokemon Yellow speedruns were about moving around in a menu to turn the exit to your house into the entrance to the Hall of Fame. Something like that should never be considered a real speedrun. It should be considered a demonstration of a glitch. But there was a point where people were unironically grinding for 0.000 playtime for reasons. It's cool as a historic kind of achievement. Yes, I agree. And most of those glitches are only cool as a demonstration that you can do them, not to be used in a speedrun. I stand by the boomers on this one. I don't want to learn how to code in the game. No. No, I put my foot down. I say no. Thought experiment, I forget the name of it, asked something like, if you replace each piece of a ship, is it still the same ship? Well, there's retrofitting. Retrofitting is changing out parts of the ship to improve it, right? If you're just upgrading it to the... Well, I think it depends on the longevity of the parts to it, whether or not it becomes the ship, right? If you replace a piece every now and again, those other pieces gradually become accepted as part of the ship and not just a thing. But if you replace every single part, yeah, you've effectively built a new ship, right? But if everything gets retrofitted over a long period of time, the other parts do eventually kind of wear in and become part of the ship, so you still consider it part of the ship, right? I guess it just depends on how extreme and how heavy it is. Anyway, I think the decomp stuff is cool because it's preserving games, it's making them HD, and it's creating quality of life aspects to them, and it opens possibilities for more like natural integration of features, like we see with the randomizers, for example. They have the codes, they're working with them, and they know how it works, so they can implement things to work with them, like with the randomizer, which is really cool. There's a lot of different features you can take advantage of, and this is all for people who are much smarter than me to handle. I get to reap the benefits of their work, because my dumb ass doesn't even know what the fuck they're doing. Well, I don't know what a Star Fox 64 mod would look like. It's pretty cool that that it even exists, but you gotta wonder how many people are developing for it, right? Like Majora's Mask's Harkinian randomizer is currently in testing phases. DFG did a test with it. It's in early alpha, and you know that's they're working on that. So eventually that'll be out of alpha and people will be able to use it. There's a lot of different randomizers for sure. I saw RE2 actually. RE2 remake got a randomizer recently. Different guy from the RE4 one, but it has door rando, which I don't even understand how that works. Because in other games the door was a loading zone, it would take you somewhere else, but like how the fuck does it work with that type of game? Does it create non-Euclidean geometry? Like you open a door and then the room behind it just doesn't make sense. There's a door rando for RE2 remake and I do not understand how it works. It has key sanity, it has items just everywhere on the fucking ground. It's got enemy rando. So yeah, those are current that I think it just got released to the public today. But it was in testing for about a week now. There are a couple streamers who were doing it. There are a couple streamers who were testing it, and its public release was today. I hit the wrong button. Oh, what the fuck? Scarlet. Wait, isn't that bitch's name Scarlet to begin with? I think it was. How could you not make Remy? Well, she's so dark blue though, dude. Why is she so dark blue? Randomizers are like the lifeblood of games. There's so many games that just thrive because they have active randomizer supports that keeps the experience fresh for them. It's very good. So like there's so many games with randomizers. Pokemon is kind of the de facto, in my opinion, of randomizers. Really started it. One of the best games for it to an extent. Obviously, like the majority of the Zelda games have randos. I actually heard that just recently, the Oracle games got a randomizer as well. So I don't know if it was both of them or just one of them, but the Oracle games now have a randomizer. And those games are pretty tough casually. So the randomizer is definitely for, you know, experienced players. There's Super Metroid's randomizer, which is very customizable and apparently pretty friendly to new players and also quite challenging to experienced players as well. Different settings for logic and whatnot. OOT has stuff like that as well. There's a lot of them. I'm surprised that DK64 has such a established rando, although I don't really know how it works. I'd love to try one day, just to, you know, see exactly what it is. But they got a big rando. I feel like Pokemon randos have not advanced in a while, though. I'm familiar with the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, but I don't know if a new randomizer ever came out, because as far as I can tell, the Universal Pokemon Randomizer hasn't been updated in like 8 years. So, like, it doesn't have support for anything past Gen 5 at all. But I've never looked in, like, anytime I search Pokemon Randomizer, you get slapped in the face by UPS every time, or UPR. So I don't know what the other randomizers are, if there were better ones made. But can you save the game in DK Rando? I don't know. I think that was a hardware issue on my part, if you catch my drift. My hyper light drifto. That's my bad. I didn't know that it wasn't gonna save until I played for 2.5 hours and it didn't save. It's the first game I ever played that didn't save for some fucking reason. I do not know why. Alright? But I save stated. You know what? I beat the game 101% faster than Vinny beat the game with doing 65%. So let it be known that I'm a gamer. I eat, sleep, and shit video game. That's me. There's an updated UPR fork called UPRZX. How come I can't find that whenever I search for Pokemon Randomizer? What kind of settings does that have? Because if it has better settings, that would make the rando more fun. My boyfriend gave me big pearls. That's great. Because randomizers are cool. But sometimes randomizers can get a little boring, depending on how much randomization you do. I feel like too much rando, too much rando, and you wear out the novelty. Too little, and it's like, what even was the point? And I post the link. You can post it in the exclamation point cord, and I will see it there. If you post it in chat, it's just gonna get removed, and I'm gonna have to click it. Initori. Apache's gonna be doing most of the work here because she's got ground moves and water moves. Yeah, most of the groundwork here. Ow. I'll check it out later. I mentioned this before, but one of my biggest gripes with the Pokemon randomizer is the fact that when you randomize enemy Pokemon, their move pools are just relative to what their level is. So the trainers don't actually have like Pokemon with real moves that they get randoed into. They just have like a bunch of shitmons with shit move pools because they're not customized. They're not like they just slap on whatever the 4 moves closest to that level are supposed to be, which results in like a non-issue type of situation for battling. A feature like that being fixed would be great. One has a custom moveset option. I have to wonder how it would even sort that, right? That would seem like a lot of work. I have to look into it. I'd have to look into it. Randomizer can completely randomize everything. Yes. But what I'm saying is that you can randomize the Pokemon, but trainer Pokemon and gym leader Pokemon, like important trainers Pokemon, have specially crafted movesets by the devs. Whereas when the Pokemon are randomized in a randomizer, when the Pokemon is given to replace the other Pokemon, the moveset that's given to the Pokemon is just based on what their level up moveset is from the level they are, and the first 4 moves they learn going down from that. So if your Pokemon randomizes to Electrode in the Elite Four, it's just gonna have whatever Electrode knows from level 55 down to whatever level it reaches for the next 4 moves. Which is usually it'll just have Thunderbolt, maybe Swift, Self-Destruct. Like there's no strategy at all. You just get a level up move pool, and some Pokemon's level up move pools are pretty bad. They're pretty bad, so it's a non-fight, and it really starts to show around the end of the game when you customize your movesets, and they can't hit you with anything at all because they haven't learned their good stab at option yet, like at all. But you can also just randomize everything to be completely nonsensical and completely remove any and all form of strategy because you can't fucking know that your opponent's gonna smack you with ancient power for some reason. Too much randomization. You can even randomize base stats. Stuff like that is a little too much for me, personally. I don't fuck with I didn't use the Pokemon Center. Cock and balls. Why can't I fly? Whoa, you can speed swim? I had no idea. Yeah, you can randomize base stat total, you can randomize Pokemon evolutions, you can randomize when they, like, you can do so much with randomizers, but there is an upper limit that I have for them where too much randomization and I don't even enjoy the game anymore. That's why all the Reggies always explode. Well, not quite. The Reggies always explode early game because they only learn explosion at level 1 for some godforsaken reason. But if you fight a Reggie replacement in like Elite 4, they will have moves that will overwrite explosion. But yes, every Reggie level 1 knows explosion for no real reason. And that's the only move they know for quite some time, actually. So, yeah. Yeah. Surprising choice of music, huh? There's limitations. There's limitations to it. Like I said, everybody has their own threshold to it. I don't like, I don't touch base stat randomization. That's just messy. I tend to just leave it at the Pokemon. Just randomize Pokemon locations to vary Pokemon you see, which I think is pretty cool. However, the novelty of that can also kind of wear out once you get a team that you like early on enough, and then the randomized grass no longer matters to you because you already have, you know, you got your team that you're not going to replace anymore. So, like, you stop even caring what's in the grass. But I guess it's fine. I'd love to randomize trainers more, but yeah, the issue with that is just some of them, they start to kind of become pushovers because the level up move pools stop matching the strength. But then there are some Pokemon where their early game level up move pools are insanity. Like Pokemon that learn Dragon Rage, for example, are really obnoxious to deal with at the levels that they would know Dragon Rage, because they will kill you in like they'll kill you in like one hit. Well, this is okay. There's Remy statue in here. You startled me. I thought you were a ghost. So it's playing Satori's theme, and it's based on Remy House. Gotcha. I understand everything now. I really don't know what type you are. I just don't know. Oh boy. Alright. You're up. You're up, Jack. That's fine. Yeah, if anyone's ever checked out a DK64 randomizer, I'm curious what exactly it entails. Because it seems like it could be fun, but I just wonder how, like, random it really is. Because I know the game well enough that I could do it, but I have to wonder, like, how much... I don't even really know how it works. That's really the big thing that's keeping me from it, is I can't even fathom how it works. I've never seen one played either. I've seen Wind Waker randos. Oh, Shem. Wind Waker randos. They're neat, but I hate treasure charts. Treasure charts are so annoying. Oh, congrats! Here's here's a reward for the quest. It's a treasure chart. What do you do with it? Oh, you open it up, go to that spot on the map, and it's either a large rupee or a heart piece. Oh, that's cool. Her eyes are glowing red now. Now, most games have something like that. You could even argue Majora's Mask does that, where pretty much every mask is only used for a single heart piece. However, counter argument, you have to get all the masks as it allows you to play it as Fierce Deity Link, which turns you into a 13-foot tall, giant, dual helix sword wielding crazy dude who beats the shit out of Majora like he's nothing. Dude, Fierce Deity gotta be one of the coolest things they ever made for Zelda, and then they just never did anything with it ever again. Like, oh, here's a super secret reward for getting all the masks in the game. What is it? It turns you into this guy, the Fierce Deity. What the fuck is the Fierce Deity? I don't know. But here you go, and then you never see it ever again. The end. Like, alright, cool. Like, actually, they use it in Hyrule Warriors. Alright, bozo. Hyrule Warriors is a game that is not strictly Nintendo. It's developed by somebody else. That's why you play as Tingle Tingle Kulu Limpa. Okay? And Linkle exists. Doesn't count. I haven't seen a Wind Waker randomizer in quite a while. No. Not in quite a while. The last one I watched was years ago. So I have no idea what different settings are even available for it. There's probably a setting just to make treasure charts checks like less obnoxious, and just make the treasure chart themselves just the item and remove the treasure charts. Because if I was making a randomizer for Wind Waker, you bet your ass I would make that a feature. I would make that a feature. Holy fuck would I make that a feature. You want to just make it so every treasure chart just gives you what they would give you at the place that you go to anyway? Yes. Give me more junk. Hit him with a fool. Does Twilight Princess got a randomizer? I think it does. I don't know if Skyward Sword does. I don't know if Skyward Sword does. I really don't think Skyward Sword has one. It does? Really? Skyward Sword has a rando? Oh! I've never seen a Skyward Sword rando. Is it a good rando? That seems like a bad question to ask, though. Is it good? Or is it just kind of like a rando for Skyward Sword? Like bare minimum type of deal, right? On what you're getting out of it. Okay, is there a Breath of the Wild rando? Ooh, now we're talking. I'm pretty sure if there was, I would know about it. Yes? Wait, there is? And I don't know about it? Huh? How do you do a rando for Breath of the Wild? Like, how do you do a rando for Breath of the Wild? Can I pick up a Deku Leaf, but instead it's a Guardian Blade? Shrines? But are the shrines really that interesting that you randomize what each one is? Are they really that, like, interesting? The AVVT. Oh, okay. They made it's the VVT is the Mewtwo. Breath of the Wild Chaos. Well, I'm familiar with Chaos more than I'd like to be. Chaos is such a fucking cluster of bullshit. Fuck. I think there's a chaos for OOT. There might be a chaos for Sunshine. Border Island. New Bonica was discovered deep in the jungle. The jungle. The Jungle Book. Well, the issue with chaos, I think, is that it's funny, but there are a lot of codes that just kind of tell you that you're not allowed to play the game for a little bit. Like, actively trying to play through chaos is the fun part of chaos, but there are a number of codes where actively trying to play through it is simply the wrong choice. And then there's also this one particular code that makes Bowser levels unplayable because it doesn't fix itself. And the way Mario 64 works for that is that when it breaks all the graphics, solid objects are still there, but they're invisible. But objects that move are not invisible. They're actually tied to the object that's getting moved around. So the level becomes straight out unplayable. Even if you remember the whole level invisibly, the other platformers will move and the level will become impossible. And in Bowser stages, that just means you have to leave, and then you have to wait for the code to stop, and then you can try again. That code is really bad. That code is really bad. That's the worst one, just because as soon as you roll it, there's no amount of waiting or playing will work. You have to leave the level. And then you have to wait for the code to wear off. There are a lot of annoying codes for sure, but that one, that's probably the worst in terms of actually playing the game. Sake drink. Oh. Oh, milk drink. Okay. Interesting. Code that causes everything to spawn like a jillion coins and crash the game. No, that code's great because if you get that code under control, you get an easy 100 coins. That's the kind of code you like to see. The codes you don't like to see are the ones that make it so you can't play the game and you just have to sit there and wait. I hated the tripping code. Because that code would last for like 2 fucking minutes. I swear to God, that code would last longer than every other code. And you just trip. You just trip. You can't move. So Mario just can't move. And then the code runs out and you get the zip forward code. So you just fly off over the fucking handlebars and die anyway. I waited for 2 minutes and then I died anyway. Sometimes the pausing code pairs up with the drain your life when paused, or the automatically target exit course and click button. So that happens sometimes. Force exited a level or killed by the pause menu is definitely something that happens. But remember, chaos is intended to be stupid anyway. So complaining about it is kind of moot because it knew what it was from the get-go. And honestly, I think the only reason we have additional versions of Chaos is because Simple Flips keeps paying Kaze to make more, because he's a silly man. He's a silly man. Hey, it's our entertainment though, right, boys? That's our entertainment. Make me this. I want to do a 120-star speedrun on Chaos again. Really? Yes, I do. Are you sure? I am sure. Alright, bro. Here you go. I hate this. Dude. I swear, Pong is the most inoffensive thing to appear in the entire game. And then it appears right when you're in the middle of something super stressful, and suddenly you are like 7 back and forth with the computer, and you're just like, what the fuck? I didn't know this, but you can actually play Pong in the pause menu. You can play Pong in the pause menu. I didn't even know that. Losing to Pong. Ooh. They call me Heartbreaker. No, Simple Flips usually does a chaos. It's like usually just like a novelty stream for an occasion. And they're usually pretty good stream to throw on, just because he's like he's so attuned to the chaos bullshit. I don't know how he manages to like stay aware of his surroundings, I suppose, while he plays that shit, because I can barely take that shit for a couple hours. And then it makes me want to put my head through the wall. But bro spent 3 hours on BOB 100. I remember this. That motherfucker spent like 3.5 hours trying to get BOB 100. Looked at how long it took and decided to stop the run and then try again tomorrow. So he just did it after 3.5 hours and was like, and then he stopped the run and then tried again the next day. How? How the fuck? How? Oh my god. BOB 100 is... That's an annoying star, man. He got that dog in him. He also just did that 8-hour desert bus stream with Joel a week last week too. They just ran on the desert bus road. I fell asleep on the 7th hour. I didn't see how it ended, but I fell asleep on the 7th hour. I did see Joel get hit by a bus and fly back so far. Oh my god, he flew back so far. That shit was so funny. Hey, at least it wasn't Crazy Bus, right? At least it wasn't Crazy Bus. I don't remember which one to drop down. I never remember which one it is to drop down. Ever. You're gonna copy Intimidate now, and then I'm gonna be intimidated too. Oh. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Can't trace. The Bonica Mansion. HP up. Do I want this? I don't need it, but I want it. Ice Heal. Wow, really need that. What do I do with these things? Sell them. Or at least try to. I'll try to sell them. If I remember and need money. Okay. They traced trace. Good thing it has like a failsafe to not trace infinitely. Alright. Oh man. Chad, I've been running my mouth for like almost 2 hours now. Oh. Straight yapping. But you know, that's kind of the beauty of the Pokemon games, I suppose. I don't have to pay a lot of attention to what happened on Pokemon. So I kind of just get to talk a lot. The Pokemon stuff is usually better in terms of stream engagement, I find, versus for VODs. Because, like, you know, I go and ask a lot of questions, and then the VODs can't really answer them, because that's really annoying. But if I ask a question here, somebody can immediately call me a jackass, instead of calling me a jackass, like, 2 days from now. It's great. It's a never-ending world of topic. See, look at that. Immediate chat feedback. Beautiful. Kawakuma. Kawakuma. Nanchai. Jackass has become One of my most used words. Just in case anyone was wondering. That has become one of my most used words. It's a funny word, bro. Rolls off the tongue pretty well. What can I say? It's a good word. It's a good word with a lot of power behind it. No guard. Okay, no guard and gatekeeper. Flamethrower. Oh, I know where I am. I know where I am. I know where I am. Do I have a favorite word? Oh, you know what, chat? Actually, have you ever thought about how like everybody has like kind of like an example number for like when they talk about something for hyperbole? Does that make sense? The HM for waterfalls around here. Okay. Does that make sense? So like when you're trying to exaggerate or something and you're going for a number to really like sell it, like is there a number you just go to, like you gravitate to? 4 or 14 trillion. That's a pretty wide gap. Billion, a million, 20 minute, 23. I watch a streamer that uses 25 a lot. Like anytime they exaggerate an example, it's like always 25. It's like that's just the favorite. I feel like mine is 17. I feel like mine is 17. Like 17 is my go-to, like holy shit, you're doing that so much. But I've never really thought too much about it, and I don't pay too much attention to the things that I say. So somebody else would have to, you know, psychoanalyze their streamer, if you wouldn't mind. Could use a good old psychoanalysis. VBT is too powerful. We had to kill her. Yeah, we all do it subconsciously. Hustle. So I don't really think. Sometimes the things just get ingrained in our vocabulary. Choice specs. Ooh, that's actually really good. Sometimes things get ingrained in our vocabulary and we don't even really think about that we're using them as much as we do until somebody points it out, and then we get right embarrassed by it. Like, oh man, do I really say that much? I get real fucking like aware. Why do you have trace too? Suiker instead of suika. Yeah. Sometimes that when I think of Suika, I think of that shithead. I don't even think of her proper name. Why are you all the way over there? I mean, I say Ruma. I like that. Like I've been saying that for so long now that sometimes it just slips out even when I'm actually trying to say her name properly. It's very strange. Where'd that vowel go? I ate it. I call her Jim because it's a better name. I call her Gussie because of you. That's your fault, bro. You made that choice. You made that choice, not me. No, streamer, that's you. You can't blame me for your vocal tics. Alright? You can't blame me because you chose to say something like a strange lad. Is that Tojiko or Tokiko? I don't remember. Whatever. Thank you, Ike Marroy, for the 5 gifted. 5 whole ass gifted. Oh, it was Tokiko. Okay. That could be bad. That could be bad. Never mind, I was still faster than it, even after a speed boost. Everybody's level 55. Very good. Words just come out of my mouth. Why is there a door back there? Huh? Sometimes a word comes out of your mouth and you just roll with it. And then you keep saying it because you develop a problem. That's really all. That's really all it is. What could I say? Streamer, you can just say Coggy and that's way better. Why would I say Coggy? Who the fuck are you even talking about when you say Coggy? HM7, it contains waterfall. Who's this guy talking about when he says Coggy? You got too many questions. When you say Gussie, you say it with such enunciation, you can't help but know who it is. I'm tired of tracing trace. I'm tired of it. There's a door. I want to go out that door, but before that I need to get the secret key. Let me get the secret key before I go out that door. Balm. You don't actually call her Falm. No. You lie. Wrong guy. Solar beam. Usually ice beams in here, but they moved it into a better spot for it. I go to the power plant and probably get Thunderbolt. Excuse me? Why are you here? What? The fuck are you doing here? I mean, I guess this is your house. Okay. El Koishi. El Koishi. El Bozo. Doesn't affect me. Legendary Koishi. Excellent. Although I don't think I can hit her again. Cha 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 cha. She's trying to stab me. She is not succeeding. Great. Okay. Do you think she's better than my Koishi? I guess I'll have to look. That's El Koishi after all. French Koishi. Wait, no. Lei is French. El is... that's Spanish, right? She's rocking the Brazil colors. What do you mean Brazil colors? Yellow and green. That's Brazil. It's the only place in the entire world synonymous with those two colors. I choose to believe they made the catch rate not obnoxious. She's my Koishi if she had an attack stat. Why? Because she has a knife? So does that mean she's better? My Koishi just kind of exists. Why do you have Drain Punch? What? Where the fuck did that move come from? Why did it take you so long to use that one? Well, now I gotta hit you again, bozo. She did it again. I might kill her. I might kill her, but I also might not. Finally, Jesus. Chat, when I was a kid, and this was because of my own sample size. Let me get that out of the way. When I was a kid, I thought that getting a Pokemon down to red HP made them harder to catch than if you got them down to yellow. And my reason for that was because the number of times I get a Pokemon to red, I wouldn't catch them. So my tiny developing brain at the age of 8 was like, oh, when the Pokemon gets down to red, they get frantic, they panic, and they break out easier. So you want to keep them in yellow. That was my brain. Nobody can tell what she's going to do since she acts on the spot, so she's extremely dangerous. Alright. What a Pokemon noob. I happen to be a Pokemon pro nowadays, thank you. I know how to jump for the beef. The Pokemon beef. I know. Listen, man, when you're a kid, you have to problem solve, okay? You gotta problem solve. So I problem solved. I noticed that the amount of Pokemon I was catching in red HP was not as high as the ones in yellow HP. So I thought that putting them in... Fuck. I thought that putting them in red HP made it harder to catch them. I'm gonna Pokemon tournament right now. No thanks, that sounds really boring. I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm more of a Pokemon spectator, you know? I'm a retired Pokemon player. That's all. I'm a retired player. I had my time in the spotlight. But I had to give it up for the new blood. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm retired. Yes. Yes, I am. Let's see you play Incineroar in a game where characters like Steven Seagal are allowed to place their B-movies all over the fucking screen. And you gotta watch every single one of them if you want to interact with him. But then he just hits you and then you gotta do it again. It's quite an unfortunate situation to find yourself in. Okay, so I have 2 puppets that beat the shit out of Dark... 3 puppets that beat the shit out of Dark type, or Psychic types. So I'm gonna go hurt Sabrina now. That's my plan. Calling Marth privileged in Ultimate is a funny one. That's funny. Marth is anything but privileged in that game. Marth is a character that even when you try your hardest to play him the way you're supposed to, you still won't be able to succeed. Because his tippers don't make any fucking sense half the time. Not worth it. Think in Melee. He shouldn't be, because we were talking about Incineroar. Incineroar is not in Melee. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go beat up Sabrina and get my branch. Gym leader and the 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 gym leader. 4 trainers. Sabrina is young, she's highly skilled. In Melee, Marth can grab you from across the platform. In Melee, Marth can hit you with a down air and you just die. Because the launch angle makes it a spike. Marth can do a lot of silly things in that game. But I think he's pretty cool. I think he's a pretty cool character. I actually don't know why Marth's grab range is like that. Like, legitimately, I'm not sure why his grab range is like that. I know it's better than Yoshi's because for some reason Yoshi's grab dips into the Z-axis. For no apparent reason. I'm surprised Amsa can grab anyone. Oh, and don't even get me started on Pikachu. Pikachu has the smallest grab range I've ever seen on a character. Like, he can't put his hands on you. He doesn't have hands to put on you. Does our unseen power scare you? Ooh. Ooh. Melee is a funny game. Melee is another one of those games that has been, like, really picked clean to understand. It's funny because when Melee was in its heyday, they didn't have these tools. I'm pretty sure most of Melee's frame data information in the early days came from Mewtwo King, actively running frame by frames to see moves. And then he learned, he learned frame data by actually, like, doing that. But nowadays, all that information is a lot easier to parse. But man, people really put themselves in the fucking mines for information back then. Game & Watch is an incomplete character. He's funny bad. Remember, Melee was like a game that happened in a month. I heard that DMC2 was a game that came out in like 9 months. Bro wasn't even given a full year to make a sequel to DMC. And that's why DMC2 is the way it is. You gotta admit, it's pretty impressive that the game is as responsive as it is, considering that, but it's also not a good game. It's also not a good game, but you got a little more respect for them when you hear that. Well, DMC3 was great. But yeah, DMC2 is a very troubled child. I'm going to shoot the boost. Wait, there's a fucking trainer in every box. You understand, don't you? That you put a trainer in every box. Why? Look at all this work I have to do. Go ahead, trace my intimidate. And then I'm gonna bite ya. Flan is just running around biting people. Chompy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That's what vampires do, they bite. Okay, nah. Steel Psychic dies to Fire Punch. Your Metagross typing doesn't scare me. Okay, just to keep it going. Just to keep it going. Chat. I hate to inform you, I've drank too much water. I have to pee. I'll be back. That's a ghost type. I gotta pee, y'all. I will return in a moment. sounds like a lot of hoopla. He's always pissing. Yeah, 'cause I drink a lot of water, 'cause that's good. Do you guys just not piss? Like, what is your problem that you never have to take a piss? I drank 1 liter of milk today, and I drank about 500 milliliters of water. What did you drink today, huh? I piss when I need to. Is that not what I just did? Is that not what I just did? I had to pee. You think I'm just gonna sit here and hold my pee and fuck up my bladder? No. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna fuck up my bladder. I need that for quite a number of years going forward. I'd rather that be working. I'd really rather that be working. My body is a machine that turns water into water. I'm gonna bite. This water is great, by the way. This water I'm drinking right now that hydrates my body and flourishes my insides. I feel it, Mr. Krabs. Why drink water when you piss it away? Because the water that you piss away is good water. But if you piss without the good water, you just piss the bad water. And when you have bad water piss, you just are grumpy and have headaches because you're dehydrated. You need to have the good water. You need to have the good water in your system because it goes through you, it flushes out all the bad, and your body remain nice and healthy, happy, good. Okay? Does everybody understand now? Do we all get it? PL bad water. Did you just fucking try to... Did you just try to, like, source launch a map in my chat? Is that what you just did? Or try to load a map in chat in his Gmod. Oh, chat, I ordered a new pair of blue lights that'll be here on the 5th because I didn't want to pay an extra $2 in shipping to get them on Sunday. So now I'm getting them on like Wednesday. But yeah. Cheap boy. Cheap boy. Are you fighting, Psychic? I think you are. No, you're not. Whatever you are, you're weak to crunch. Oh, you're Faith Psychic. You're Faith Psychic. Getting mail on the weekend, bro. I mean, they just had the offer. Spend more money, faster shipping, right? Oh. Wait, does Flare Blitz not burn? Well, fuck, man. I'm just gonna tackle people. Flandre can't take a hit to save her life anyway. I might as well go ape shit. Darmanitan mode. Yatsuha. They deliver 4 days a week if you're lucky over here, bro. Oh. Well, this is Amazon we're talking about, you know. Usually the way deliveries work is they just throw it at your doorstep, but if you pay enough that they can't leave it at your doorstep without telling you, they just bring it to a post office and they leave a note on your door saying they missed you, which is not my favorite situation. They don't knock. They don't knock. And they just leave a note. It's like, hey, you weren't home, so, where the fuck is the exit? Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I just gotta go get my PP back and then I'll beat up Sabrina. Saw the rocket boss escaping Sylph's building. Why didn't you stop him, dude? The world was on your shoulders there. He had no Pokemon healthy. You could have tackled him. Living in his British mansion. I'm living in my new British. I live in New Scotland, thank you. I live on the ridge of Canada. It's great. It's funny to me that Nova Scotia has like one city and then everywhere else is just poop. It's just poo fields. That's it. You got one city and then the rest of it is poo fields. My province is small. My province is small. I got it. I got it. I got it. One of these will eventually take me to Sabrina. I just don't remember which one. Even though I found it earlier. Usually we get a hurricane season. We usually get a hurricane season around, what do you call it? Around September. There's usually some type of storm on the path, and it usually petters out into a tropical storm instead of being a full-blown hurricane. But sometimes it becomes a hurricane. So, chat, I feel like I've repeated this process 3 or 4 times now. I do, in fact, feel like I've done this quite a number of times. What? How'd I get out? Wait, what? How do I leave? Where's the leave button? It's just, is there a fast way to do this? Or am I just an idiot? One of these has to eventually take me to Sabrina. Right? Aha! See? So one of them had to eventually take me to Sabrina. Alright. Here we go. I had a vision of your arrival. Cool. Pretty lady. Walking down your street. Byakurin. Okay, I'm pretty sure I kill you. Right? Surely you die. Alright, good. Racing is quite fast, actually. Racing is actually kind of fast. She's annoying, so I'm gonna paralyze her. She's probably faster than Flan. I remember this puppet being quite fast. That's fine, it won't kill me. Okay. Didn't kill me, though. Sonic Boom! She's very frail, but she's extremely fast. Oh, that's her berry. Okay, so this is her ace. But considering that did half with non-stab on Luna stats, I'm pretty sure Racing... Pretty sure Flandre just gets to eat her. Yummy, 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 yummy. Alright, there goes the big one. That puppet is obnoxious. Ron. Advent Ron. She's psychic, but she's also something else. I think she might be part ground. I'm gonna go on Apache. Apache might be able to do something. Chen is part ground. Ron might be fire. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I have admin now. Okay, she is ground or fire. Why the fuck does she get to use earthquake? Am I dead? Yeah. Yeah, I am dead. Okay. She's fast. She's fast. No big deal. Oh, I could have transformed to a... Well, that would have been point. No, if I transformed to a flying type, it wouldn't have mattered. Because she wouldn't have used earthquake. Oh, you're just dead. Dude, I need a scarf on Patchy or something. She's too slow. Yukari! Alright. Flandre is for emergency situations. When I'm pretty sure some of these puppets are quite sturdy, so Flan can't break them instantly. Yukari is a bit of a slow-paced one, but... Oh, perfect. So this probably kills with the Spadef drop. The only issue is Reflect Up means Flandre definitely can't kill anything for the next couple turns. But it's just 2 left. You're a normal type. Okay. You're a normal type. Oh. I wish I had Encore. She can do it again. I just don't want to hit her into potion range. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, now we have a new problem. Now we have a bit of a new problem. Okay, Reflect is gone at least. I'm trying to status her. Preferably, I'd like to paralyze her. But Frostbite would also be good because it would nullify her special attack. This can't kill me. Alright, Flan, I need you to break this. That doesn't matter. Breakthrough. Yummy, yummy. Yep. That's what Flandre does. She hits really hard. And then E Sukuna. You're a steel type. I get to click Flare Blitz. Time to show you what we're really capable of. I'm going to ram into you. Die. Bonk. Omega ball damage. Easy fight. Thumbs up emoji. This loss shocks me. But a loss is a loss. Didn't see that coming, huh? Stronger Bonica become wild. Don't rage your Bonica too much to avoid that problem. Calm mind. Great. Everyone has psychic powers. They just don't realize it. Alright, now to play the How Do I Get Out of Here game. Featuring me on the platforms for the next 2 seconds. Wow. How did he do it? So... why can I not fly to Cinnabar or Pallet Town? That's really strange. That's really strange. Okay, well, there's Blaine and the islands, and then there's going back to, then there's going back to Gensokyo. I just wonder if I should go back to Gensokyo sooner rather than later. based on the levels. Normally the game will like strong arm me into going there, but now there's nothing really stopping me, right? You can't go to Giovanni, I don't think, until you beat Blaine. But there is stuff to explore in Gensokyo. Yeah, I'm pretty over leveled when you think about it. Which means anywhere I go, I'm gonna be over leveled. Whatever. Whatever. I'll do the islands and then I'll go. Because at that point, I'll have like every badge except Giovanni, and I'll be able to see how much I can do in Gensokyo itself. Before, you know. Save the state, streamer. Did I ever go into my house and all that? I'm pretty sure I did. I did use the Pokemon Center in Cinnabar. So it's weird. Cinnabar should not be Cinnabar should not be unflyable. I don't know what that's about. Alright, but you know what? We made great progress today. So good job to me, myself, and I for being so dedicated to the cause. Cool.